Hi, welcome. I'm Jasper and you're watching Common Sense TV on the Whistle Stop Cafe account, and I'm on my way to court for a court case for Mr. David Icke. He is banned to go into the European Union, and actually it's called the Sjengen area, which contains 26 countries, because he was invited to speak on a peace rally in Amsterdam, on Amsterdam Dam Square. Immigration services thought that was not a good idea, on remarks asked by the mayor of Amsterdam, Mrs. Halsema. And because he was banned, and because he was banned from speaking, he is not allowed to enter for over 2 years, for 2 years, to go into the European Union, which is kind of harsh. So the organization Samen voor Nederland, which is translated by Together for Netherlands, who's has, how you call it, which contains over 80 groups, protest groups, in several kinds of taste, to say a bit like that. Today there was this court case, so I'm on my way to court, and after that I will speak to to Mordechai Crispijn, which is the organization guy who's been organizing this peace rally, and to his lawyer, Jeroen Pols. So let's see how it's going to be.
The Jasper Experience on Common Sense TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm Jasper and you're watching Common Sense TV on the Whistle Stop Cafe account in Mirror, Alberta, Canada. And I'm standing not in Mirror, Alberta. I'm standing in the capital of province of North Holland, in Haarlem, in front of a court. And today there was a court because David Icke has been banned for over 2 years to come into the European Union, for over 26 countries, because he was invited by Samen voor Nederland, which is a protest organization, to speak on a rally in Dam Square. And next to me is standing one of the organizations and his lawyer. And gentlemen, today there was a court case because David Icke was banned. He was invited by Samen voor Nederland to speak on Dam Square. What was the invitation about? Why do you want to have him on Dam Square to speak?
Actually, it was a peace rally on the 6th of November on 22. It was a peace rally.
Okay.
So we invited him to speak about peace. And just for him accepting the invitation, there was enough reason for an organization called SEDI here in Holland. That's the Central Information about Documentation Israel. It's a Jewish organization. And they didn't want him to come to the Netherlands. So what they did, they went to the mayor of Amsterdam, and tried to see if the mayor was having the capacity to ban him from the demonstration, which is not possible because here in Holland you're not allowed. I think your camera is a little bit off.
Let me turn it a bit.
Adjust it a bit. Otherwise,
Yeah. Weird screen.
Yeah. So what then happened is the mayor of Amsterdam is not able to get into the content of any speech. So that's the moment where the organization of Amsterdam went to the state.
Yeah. Because in Holland, when you have organizing a demonstration, we've got the authorities are not allowed to interfere with
The
what
content.
Yeah,
the
correct.
content of the speeches and the demonstration. So yeah, I think that was the moment that they made a call to the staatssecretaris, that's the state of secretary, and then they started taking the Schengen agreement. And Jeroen knows a lot about the Schengen agreement, also from cases in the past. So then they started they did not allow him anymore to enter the EU. And that's a complete different ballgame because there are so many ways to limit anything about demonstrations. We have safety, of course, etc. And that's when the whole case started. So that's when we also said, well, David should be able to come.
Yeah.
And until now, it's almost it's more than 7 months ago, and he's still not allowed. And it's for 2 years. This was one demonstration. It was one peace rally where he allowed, where he was invited and he allowed to speak. And for 2 years, he's not allowed to enter the EU.
The peace rally was about the war between Russia and Ukraine, and we're thinking about peace instead of war.
He was about to give a speech about the importance of peace and to stop the dividends. That was actually his speech, what it was about. So he gave the speech in the end on the beach in England, looking on the other side to Holland, and the speech is still online. So it was banned from YouTube, but you can still find it everywhere. I think on Rumble and other platforms.
Well, thank you, Mordechai, for this. Jeroen, you're the lawyer on this case. This is actually the appeal, there was already a court case, and the judge decided to go on with the 2-year ban of David Icke.
No, this is the earlier court case was a provisional. So this is the first time we are in appeal. We had only the first round, but this is the first time we are really in court. So yeah.
So, in your opinion, what happened today in court? The immigration services were saying, okay, everything is being correct. David Icke has been banned for 2 years and we want to stay it. And maybe after 2 years, during the court cases as well, so maybe we're going to expand it because he's not, he's staying behind his thoughts and theories. Can you tell me a bit about what happened today in court?
Well, it's a bit surrealistic discussion what we have here, but because what this is really about is about the freedom of speech and about the freedom of peaceful assembly. Yeah. Which are protected by the European Human Rights Treaty. What they did now was that the mayor of Amsterdam didn't have the power to cancel the assembly. So, as Mordechai just said, they went to the minister and asked, "Can you do something for us?" And they immediately they banned him from all of the European Union, which is not allowed according to European law. You are not allowed to ban people on base of their opinions, and this is exactly what happens. And what we have heard today is a vague, how do you call it? Revelation of non-facts, which should justify the banning of David Icke. But I couldn't hear anything. What I did is they compared it to what they do to hate preachers, jihad, extreme Muslims. But what we did today was we showed how can you use this policy for David Icke, where I said as well this banning of hate preachers also is violating the freedom of speech and the freedom of religion. So I'm not. I don't support that either. But if you choose to do that, this is the next step, because now you are banning other opinions, and this is a slippery slope what we are on. And once you start with this, this gives the way. This makes a way to ban every opinion, because what they are saying is it's not directly what he says, but it's how other people may understand it and explain it. So if you inspire somebody, and this is what I said today, how can I criticize a minister or somebody from the government? Because, for example, we have some pretty big scandals here about lost children and everything. And when I say, for example, the Prime Minister is responsible for the missing 1,600 children, this may inspire other people to take action. Am I then responsible? Because this is where we are going. Before, the limit was you have to really incite. And now we are leaving that, we are going to the next level. It's the same with these accusations of anti-Semitism. There was nothing anti-Semitism in what he said. Yeah. What they said is there are some experts who interpreted the things he said as anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
Well, then you are way off, because then everything goes. Yeah.
The thing is, what I have, a Mordechai is from a Jewish part, and David Icke has been called a anti-Semitic and a racist guy, if I'm correctly translating it. Mordechai already asked him in an interview from Listen Up, are you denying the Holocaust? Can you tell me a bit about that? Because that gives a bit of context from what we're going in here.
Yeah, look, I actually didn't know. So when we invited him, there was a story, he's a Holocaust denier.
Yeah.
So the first thing I said, okay, I'm in the organization. I don't care if you deny the Holocaust, just for the facts. I know that in Holland a lot of people make a big thing about it, but if you want to deny the Holocaust, go ahead. Yeah. That's the freedom of speech. People get very upset with me when I say that, but I'm Jewish. But you're totally free to think whatever you want and to say whatever you want. I am not going to give you the stage. Correct. If that's the point, and you want to ask, if you ask me to invite him, a Holocaust denier, if he would be, to get on stage, I would not give my cooperation with that. Correct. So for me, only personally, for myself, I wanted to ask him the questions. And I asked him, are you denying the Holocaust? Do you agree with the fact that many millions of people died in the gas chambers? And there was no doubt, he is not a Holocaust denier. So then I started reading parts of his books. I started asking people, hundreds of people in my blog. Not anyone came up with a fact, because I said, look, if he's a Holocaust denier, show me. Yeah. If he hates Jewish, show me. There is no proof of that. So you can take out the card, which they keep doing here in the States. You can take out the card and say, yeah, he's an anti-Semite and he's hating Jews, etc. Show me the proof. Yeah. So since that was not the case, I said, okay, then I can still cooperate with the organization and putting him on stage. And until today, there was no proof. So they keep saying it, and that was what I said in the court case now. Either you come with proof, or you be silent about this, because there's no point in bringing it up, because the moment you start gluing stuff like you're hating Jewish, you stop the whole discussion, because everybody will get into shock. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute, he's a Jewish hater. Well, that's why I'm in court today, and I stand up for David Icke. I am a Jew. Yeah. So if he would be a hater of Jews, I wouldn't be standing here in his defense. So it doesn't make any sense. But I was happy that for the first time actually in court that I bring something up which is quite, it's not nice news, you know, to look back at 40, 45, whatever happened here. It's not nice to hear, but actually she gave me quite a lot of space. Normally I'm stopped when I start making comparisons, but today she gave me quite some space. She even asked for the writer of the article. Yeah. So we're going to the court case about it. People think or say about David Icke that he's anti-Semitic, and that's maybe inciting violence on that peace rally, and that's where the state secretary was saying, okay, here's the line, because maybe it's going to be violence on Dam Square, and that's why he's not allowed to come in Holland, and that's why. So what's your thought about that?
No, the anti-Semitic card, it went to the second place. The first place is now the conspiracy theories, and this is also why Mordechai brought up the case about World War II, where in 1941 it was a conspiracy that people would be killed in camps. People already told about that, and the Dutch government, as well as a Jewish council, they said, no, these are all conspiracy theories, keep calm, there's nothing like such things going to happen. We all know how this ended. This is as an example that when our government is going to tell us what is true and what is not true, when we have a ministry of truth, this is the consequences. This is the importance of freedom of speech. So everybody who has bullshit to tell or whatever, at the end, it's a marketplace of free ideas that it comes out what is true and what is not true. We don't need a minister to tell us that, and this is not his job. This is undermining a democratic state when the state starts to tell you which opinions are tolerable and which are not.
You started the court case with the book of David Orwell, 1984. Why did you do that?
because what we are seeing is double speech. We are protecting the democratic society by banning other opinions. These things, only people, normal people, it collides in their heads. Yeah. But we see here a minister. They are just telling these things in one sentence, and this is just one example. It's all. For example, the movement, which is now the protest movement, which I call the conspiracy terrorists.
Terrorism.
Yeah, these extremists.
Yeah, extremists.
Out of the Secret Service, the IVD, they made a report about it, and they said this group of people, they don't use violence, and it's very unlikely that they will use violence because they don't have the aim to reach their goals with use of violence.
Right.
So my point was, how can somebody who is promoting a peaceful protest, and how can they be a danger for the public order? This was my point, what I made. But they can tell you, they just want peaceful means, but they, on the same time, they are a danger to society. Yeah. So this is the double speech we see all the time. The whole file is full of it. Yeah.
So the judge is making his rule about the end of July, 31 of July.
6 weeks.
So what do you reckon it's going to be?
Well, out of experience, it's very hard well, the hope is small still, because we have seen it's very hard to get justice these days, the last few years. I mean, we did over 44 court cases. There were a few which we won, but the positive thing today is that the judges, they were really prepared, and this we haven't seen very often. So it gives a small ground for optimism, but we are skeptics still.
The trust in our system is really low, but we have to hold on to something because we're still having some sort of faith.
Well, we have nothing else, you know. It's like at the traffic lights. You have these knobs there. There is no connection, but you still you still push it in the hope, you know, that after it becomes green. So this is what we are doing. Yes. Yeah.
Well, thank you for doing this. We're keeping an interest in this court case, and we speak to you really soon. Thank you for doing this, and have a great day.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
You said to the judge, I hope I've not.
Well, thank you for watching this stream. This is Jasper from Common Sense TV on the Whistle Stop Cafe. See you a bit.